All right, let's dive into this, shall we? We're tackling the Walt Disney Company today, and wow, I gotta say, I usually picture castles and singing mice, that sort of thing, but the research you've gathered, Wikipedia, these images, it really hits you. This is a whole different beast than just fairy tales, huh?
It's quite the story, isn't it? You've hit on something crucial there, the transition from a small studio to a global force in entertainment. It
Yeah.
really makes you think, how many millions of lives have been touched by their stories, their characters. That's a powerful legacy.
No kidding. And to think, it all started with two brothers, Walt and Roy, right?
Hmm.
Just drawing cartoons. The Wikipedia article mentions they were working out of a garage at first. It's kind of an amazing story when you think about it. I mean, a true underdog tale.
Hmm.
But then, boom, Mickey Mouse in the 20s and things, well, they took off.
It's more than just taking off. It's a textbook example of how to build a brand, how to tap into something universal. Think about Mickey Mouse. He's not just a cartoon. He's instantly recognizable around the world.
Yeah.
And those images you say, you can see it, that simple black and white design, those eyes, changing over time, reflecting how animation itself evolved, all the new techniques. It's like a visual timeline of Disney's creativity.
And his personality changed too. Didn't he start out a little more, mischievous, and then he became this symbol of like hope and all that?
Exactly. It's a funhouse mirror to broader cultural shifts, what audiences connected with at different points in time. As animation got more advanced, Mickey changed with it. But the brilliance is they kept that core appeal, that sense of wonder that everyone relates to. That's a masterclass in staying relevant no matter what business you're in.
Makes you wonder what he'll look like in another 90 years, right?
But you know what really got me? Looking at this Wikipedia entry, it's this list of everything they own the Dan. And I don't just mean theme parks. We're talking Pixar, Marvel,
Hmm.
even Lucasfilm. It's like they've got a stake in every corner of the entertainment world.
And that's where things get really interesting. We're not just talking Saturday morning cartoons anymore. We're talking about the stories that define our culture. Superheroes, space operas, historical dramas. Disney's reach is massive.
You're preaching to the choir here.
Yeah.
But it does make you stop and think, doesn't it? I mean, what does this mean for the future of entertainment? What kind of stories will get told? And will it be Disney doing all the telling? Now, that is the million-dollar question, isn't it? That's a lot of sway for any one company to have. Makes you consider the responsibility that comes with that kind of influence. But to really get into that, we need to talk about those theme parks.
It's funny you should mention the theme parks because I was just looking at these pictures you sent, and it really struck me. It's not just about rides and cotton candy, is it? It's like they've created these entire worlds you can just walk into.
It's the level of detail that really gets you right.
Mm.
And it's all very intentional. Disney's theme parks, they're basically case studies in what we call immersive storytelling.
Immersive is right. I remember going to Disney World as a kid, and it really did feel like that, like I'd stepped into a different world.
Every little thing, the buildings, the music, even the plans, it's all designed to make you feel like you're in that specific time and place.
Oh, totally. It's crazy how they pull it off. I mean, you step onto Main Street, USA, and it's like you're in this quaint little town from another era. It's incredible.
It's a blend of design and psychology, really.
Yeah.
They're playing with our senses, our emotions even, to create this all-encompassing experience. And it taps into something we all crave, that sense of wonder that escaped from the everyday.
And it's worldwide, too. We always think about the American parks, but they've got them in Japan, China, all over. It just goes to show, doesn't it? These stories, they connect with people no matter what language they speak.
There's no denying that reach. It's a remarkable feat. But it does raise the question, what does it mean for one company to have that much influence over, well, our imaginations? Something to think about as we navigate this world of entertainment giants.
You've got a point there. It's easy to get caught up in the magic of it all and forget there's another side to the story. I mean, no company's perfect, right? Even Disney's had its share of controversies and criticisms over the years.
Right, and it's important we don't shy away from those conversations. Like the way they've portrayed different cultures in some films, for example, that's been a big topic of discussion. They've made an effort to address it, but it highlights the importance of representation, of being mindful when you're telling stories that reach so many different people.
And we can't forget about the business side of things either. There's been a lot of talk about their copyright practices, particularly how long they hold onto those rights, like with Mickey Mouse.
Ah, yes, the Mickey Mouse copyright debate.
Mm.
It's a complex issue, isn't it? It brings up all these questions about intellectual property, about creative freedom, about the balance between corporate interests and, public access to these cultural icons.
It really makes you think, huh? Copyright, representation, I mean, the whole world sees these stories. It kind of changes how you see a cartoon mouse, doesn't it?
That's true, isn't it? All that magic, all those childhood memories, and you peek behind the curtain, and there's this whole other level. But that's what makes these deep dives so fascinating. We're not just like passively watching anymore. We're really digging into how these things work, the impact they have.
And the stuff it's perfect for that. Even just those images, you know? Like that one of the crowds at Disneyland, it just hits you how much these stories resonate, how they've become part of the fabric of our lives. Makes you wonder, though, what's next for a company like this, so tied into, well, everything pop culture.
It's the big question, isn't it? Will they keep shaping our entertainment the same way going forward? Or are we on the verge of something new? Streaming, how fast things change now. Yeah, it's a wild ride.
And Disney's changing right along with it, it seems like. I mean, they're not just sitting on their laurels with the classics. New technology, new ways of telling stories, buying up other companies. They're not going down without a fight, that's for sure.
Smart move for anyone in that business, really. But it's a balancing act, isn't it? You've got this legacy, this history, but you have to innovate to stay alive. How do you appeal to a new generation without losing what made people fall in love in the first place? That's the tightrope they're walking, and it'll be fascinating to see where they land.
Well, I can tell you one thing. This whole deep dive has given me a new perspective. Disney is not just entertainment, is it? It's about influence, it's about responsibility. Heck, it's about the future of storytelling.
And that's exactly what we hope people take away from this. A deeper understanding of how these stories work, the power they have, good and bad. And hopefully it gets folks thinking a little more critically about it all.
So next time you're watching a Disney movie, or hey, even just walking through the park, remember, ask questions. Don't just accept things at face value. That's the real magic of a deep dive. You come out the other side more aware, more engaged. Thanks for joining us, everybody.